What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Cure, as well as Luca in a precarious position. And we're here to do the final two tracks on Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me 1987, in part because I've enjoyed doing some of these two-for-ones with The Cure and have been loving The Cure Deep Dive more generally, and also because Disintegration, an album I've heard a lot of excitement about, is right around the corner. So yes, we'll start that next week, and we'll finish off Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me tonight. And the first of the final two tunes is Shiver and Shake, or is it the other way around? Is it Shake and Shiver? Either way, those are the two verbs and suggested motions. Yes, Shiver and Shake. And then the final track is Fight. So Shiver and Shake, again, they suggest maybe fear, maybe physical duress, the idea if you're extremely cold, you might shiver and shake. But again, through fear, you could shiver and shake. I suppose you could be in an ecstatic state of mind, and the shivering and shaking might be more positive or at the very least neutral, or just in relation to awe that you might be feeling. But yes, I'm guessing these are involuntary motions or bodily responses based on some external stimulus, whether that is environmental or interpersonal. And fight, the idea of combating something, and while maybe the immediate frame of reference is a physical fight, the idea of fisticuffs, using weapons, or otherwise engaging in physical activity meant to combat or commit violence against something else, you can of course fight something legally, mentally, logically, and verbally. You can push back against or combat something in a way that is less literal and physical and more, again, emotional, interpersonal, or conceptual. So those are just idea sketches, and I'm not sure how these ideas and titles will manifest in terms of lyrics, but I will do my best to follow along. Do you really have to sit right there? It's completely inconvenient, Luca. This is The Cure, Shiver and Shake, followed by Fight. I will try to pause between the two, though, we'll see how it goes. I might just feel the flow as the two tracks go from one to the other, but normally I would pause after the first one, so that's my plan in advance. Wow. Probably gonna say. Yep. Oh, back that up a second or two. But okay, so I'll start with the end. I mean, doing the phrase shiver and shake with this shivering, bouncing, fluctuating vocal delivery is, of course, clever. It sounds very hostile, and it sounds, I mean, what were the lines? I want to, smash you until you're not here anymore. It feels very destructive, and perhaps the shivering and shaking is out of, vitriolic anger, or at least exasperation. But yeah, again, it sounds combative, it sounds like fighting, it sounds like sheer hostility, and I do enjoy, like, number one, sonically, it's very much in their, like, punk, post-punk mode, and there's a real frenetic intensity. There's some dissonance along the way. There was like this little, I don't know, it was like a brass riff, but it was like sort of this intense, like, melodic drone in the middle of the tune. Obviously the drums are flourishing and smashing themselves. The guitar, there was some like intense riffing, and overall, again, it felt like a punk slash post-punk dark track. And, it's funny, like, a minute and a half in, I don't think we had yet heard vocals, but, we've seen that from The Cure before, and for whatever reason, I just knew Robert was going to come in on this one, and I knew when he did it would be a real arrival vocally, and that's exactly what it was. And as I said, I enjoy his vocal delivery, which, again, felt a bit intense and almost out of control, and then by the end, it was shivering and shaking as he's saying that phrase, so very clever. Now let us hear Fight, the final tune on the album, with Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me. those chords really hit the feeling. And indeed, I think the sentiment expressed at the end of the track, "Never Give In," is the essence of at least the mood of this one. Now, there's a suggestion that the person is actually defeated, that they're sad and hurt, and, when it hurts to breathe, like the feeling that, no one's there for you, and, what was it like when the hurting ends and the nightmare begins? So it feels like the sense of reality in all respects is that the person is set upon and wounded and feeling like nothing is in their favor, no one is there for them, and it's, pain and hurt and almost like you can't go on, and yet it's saying, fight, 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 never give in. So there's a defiance, there's a stubborn tenacity that I think the song conveys. And even the sonics and, of course, those vocal repetitions of the title word, the chorus, it feels pugilistic, like, lashing out and just refusing to go quietly. And indeed, there was the idea of, like, when you can't run, when you can't, resist in other ways, it feels like fight. So I think it was almost referencing explicitly the fight or flight idea that, like, sometimes things are so bad or scary that there's only two possibilities. You can run away and try to get away from it, but if you're not able to do that, then you're backed into a corner and you're just going to fight. And so it feels like that's what it's saying. Like, when you're hurt, when you can't breathe, but when you can't run, you have to fight, 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 and never give in. And again, the context that could manifest in, they are manifold, but the idea of, emotionally, when you feel like this, fighting might not really be punching, though it feels like it could also be that here. But it feels like it's a message that could apply on multiple levels and in any number of situations, and it's about the attitude is what it seems to be. And yeah, it's a heavier tune. Again, it's kind of plodding and persistent, or indeed like implacable, like you can't stop it sonically. And again, it feels like that fits with the attitude and the message being conveyed by Robert and his vocals. And I liked at the end how he really, extended and went up high, and then it was like he deliberately petered out with a bit of scratch and defiance right to the end. So yeah, an incredible way to end an awesome album. I mean, there's not a single album from these guys I haven't loved, like absolutely loved. And while some tunes may have stood out more than others, I just love everything they do. This group is incredible. And of course, as we've gone through their catalog up to this point, I've realized there are more tunes of theirs that I heard as a youth and that were part of the soundtrack around me when I was growing up. And again, shout out specifically to K-Rock, KROQ, here in Southern California, and also my sister, who certainly I remember listening to them. But the point is, like, number one, they were more a part of my youth than I realized, and number two, the songs that have been new to me have been compelling, whether they're dark and edgy, whether they're light and fun, a bit zany and silly, emotional and heavy. They run the gamut, and I have been here for the ride, and I'm very much looking forward to Disintegration. Let me know what you think of these two tunes, and I will see you next time. Peace.